Oh, Smite fans, didn't see you there. I've been having a blast playing Smite 2 during our Alpha Weekend playtest, and I hope you have been too. Can you believe that we are less than a month away from Smite 2's closed 24/7 Alpha? That means as long as you've purchased your Founders Pack, you can play Smite 2 whenever you want. And with that, we are happy to officially announce the start of Smite 2 Esports, with our Founders Series qualifications starting this September. Now bear with me because this is going to be covering a lot of information, and that's because it's going to be covering a lot of Smite, but trust me, we've done this for a very specific reason. Because we want you, yes, you, to be able to not only compete in Smite 2 Esports, but also make it all the way to Las Vegas. So after the end of 12 weeks of play, 5 stages of competition, it will all finally culminate with 6 teams competing to be crowned the Smite 2 Founders Series champions live in Las Vegas. Now before we get started, we wanted to clarify that this video will only be covering NA and EMEA, but we are excited to announce that we will be looking to expand this to other regions in the near future. So make sure you're staying tuned for any updates, and let's jump right into it. Stage 1 of our qualification path is simple enough. 2 weeks of open bracket play for both North America and EMEA. Teams earn points based on their finishing position each week. The top 16 teams from each region will advance to the next stage of competition. If your team didn't qualify to the next round of play during this open bracket, don't worry, you're not out of the competition just yet, but we'll get to that in a minute. Stage 2 consists of a Swiss bracket for each region. Now, if you've never heard of this format before, it's actually pretty simple. If your team gets 3 set wins, they advance to the next stage. If your team gets 3 set losses, they are eliminated from the Swiss stage. Teams with the same records will face off against each other in each round of the Swiss bracket. This trend will continue until there are 8 teams who have advanced and 8 teams who have been eliminated. But that's not all. Just like in the open bracket, if you don't qualify to the next stage of play during the Swiss stage, you're not out of the competition just yet. During the 5 weeks of the Swiss stage, there's also going to be another open bracket. Now this bracket is open to any team that got knocked out during the first open bracket, or the teams that formed after its completion. This open bracket is the same format, where teams earn points based on where they finish each week. At the end of 5 weeks, the 8 teams from each region with the most points will join the 8 teams that were eliminated from the Swiss stage and face off against each other in our last chance qualifiers. Stage 3 will be our last chance qualifiers and consist of GSL group matches. The teams will be seeded into 4 groups of 4 per region. The top 2 teams from each group will advance to the playoffs, joining the winners from the Swiss stage. This leaves us with 16 teams from North America and 16 teams from EMEA. Stage 4 playoffs will take place over 2 weeks, where each region will have teams battle through a 16-team double elimination bracket. By the end of it all, we will have narrowed it down to the best of the best from across the world as they travel to Atlanta, Georgia to compete for a final spot at the Founders Series Championship. Being crowned as the Founders Series champions is not the only thing these teams are playing for. They'll also be battling it out for a $300,000 prize pool. So make sure you're following us on socials at SMITEPro and check out our Smite 2 Esports Discord for more information. And of course, our website, SMITEesports.com, where you'll be able to find a blog post that goes into all of this in a little bit more depth, as well as tell you all the information that you need to figure out how to compete. I've been Trelly, and I cannot wait to see you competing on the Battleground live in Las Vegas.